got another install video here for you guys. I decided to go ahead and change out my front bumper here to match my back bumper. The back bumper I have is a Rebel Off-Road Summit Series, and I've got a Poison Spyder bruiser up here, and it's really a really good bumper. Really good. I really enjoy it. I just wanted to kind of match the back bumper, so I decided to buy a Rebel Off-Road Series, Summit Series front bumper. So stay tuned and we can check it out how we install it and see how it looks on the two-door Jeep. Alright, one thing to note here, guys, I do have fog lights, existing fog lights. My old bumper, I've got my Fairlead and my Winch, and got an auxiliary light here. So I'm going to try to attempt to put on the new bumper, and I'm going to go ahead and just bolt everything back into place like it is here, so we can see whether or not it fits up pretty good. I did get a bar with the new bumper. It's the low profile one. So we'll see if this light actually, this auxiliary light, fits on there, because it's a really good light, especially in the front to have. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know everything here. We'll change out and try to put it on the new bumper and see how that looks. Alright guys, so first things first, I want to make sure I have all my hardware here before I start installing everything. You should get a bag with all your hardware in it. It's got the quantity here and the description on the side. So you should have about 12 3/8 by 1 bolts. You should have 12 flat washers, 12 lock washers for 3/8, and then also you'll have your 1/4 by 1, and this is going to be 4 of them. You're supposed to get 8 flat washers. They gave me 12, which is okay, and then 4 nylon nuts for 1/4, and then you'll get your 2 brackets, your 2 triangle brackets, and then you get your 2 L bracket plates. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is grab these triangle brackets, and you'll see I've got a Sport JL. On the Rubicons, I'll have these nut inserts in here, and I think you can skip this step, but since I have a Sport, I've got to put these triangle brackets in there. I'm going to put them in here. It's going to line up to these 3, 1, 2, 3. This one's not a hole, it's just an indented piece to the frame. And what I'll do is I'll get a 3/8 inch bolt, washer and lock washer, and then I'll screw it on the top bolt here. So it should go here with this top one here. Okay, so I've got the triangle bracket in there. There is a way that it needs to be oriented, so just make sure that these 2 holes here are center to these holes. What I did to help me get this in there in the triangle piece, I just added another 3/8 bolts down here, started off, and then I tightened this one down with the washer and lock washer. So, and I'll just remove this 3/8 here, and you see these 2 holes will line up concentric to those holes there. Alright guys, for the next step, we're going to put our skid plate on. If you got a skid plate, we're going to go ahead and put this on our bumper. What I did is I flipped this bumper upside down, so the top end's on the bottom, and then you can put your skid plate right on top of that and match the holes. There's slotted holes in here that you can match to the skid plate, and then you're going to use your 3/8 by 1 bolt, washer, and lock washer, and you're going to put that through. And look at it here. It took me a little while to get it in. This one was kind of galled up. The nut here that they welded on to the bumper had a lot of this black coating on there. So you have 6 of them. They have one here, one here. This one's a little hard to get to, so don't tighten these until you got all of them on there. Got one there, one there, one there, and one there. So you'll have 6 of them on there, so it should be good. And then the other thing is that you have to kind of, once you get all of these on here kind of loosely, what I did is I kind of had to make sure that the skid was lined up kind of, you know, where it needed to be towards, you know, to the edges of the bumper, the sides of the bumper. So you can kind of see, you know, it's a little edge out there, and then a little edge here. So you can push and drag this along here slowly, and then kind of match it up and line it up in the center where you want it. So that's about as close as I can get it. Looks pretty good. So we'll go on to the next step here. Okay, so I just muscled this thing up there. It was extremely difficult to get it into place. There's 4 holes here to the frame of the vehicle, and there's 4 over here, and on the bumper there's 4 bolts that come out here. There's 4 bolts that come out here, except there's 2 bolts that are on a bracket. And so there's 1 bracket, 2 brackets, 3, 4. And then they got this retaining ring on there. And, you know, which is good. But the problem was, let me turn this light over here. I couldn't fit this thing up when I was muscling it up here. And so I was just sitting here just trying to fiddle with it, scratched up my whole, you know, got up this thing with, you know, there's no paint on the front side of it. Just trying to get these bolts through these holes. And what happened is that retaining ring is back there, and they powder coat the retaining ring to the bumper, and so they're in different spots. So this bracket was up high, that bracket over was down low. Same thing on this side. That bracket, you know, this bracket was stuck in a position, and then the other one in the back there was stuck in a different position. So every time you try to line this up, you couldn't fit into the holes. So it was a pain in the butt. You can see I've kind of like, you know, I kind of hacked at the retaining rings to bust, you know, to make it a little more looser so that these can free float, those can free float, you know, these other ones can free float. That way I can get these bolts in here, because it was a little difficult. So just be aware, they may have your bumper, I don't know why, they coat it, paint it with those retaining rings on it, because those retaining rings are not even in the right, you know, like these ones were down here again, and those ones were up there. So again, trying to fit this bumper up, it makes it a pain in the butt. Anyways, got it on there, I got the bolts hand tightened. I'm going to go ahead and bolt that up. The bumper's on, looks pretty good. It's pretty level. Oops, pretty level. So I'm going to tighten up those bolts, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so I've got all 8 bolts, nuts tightened down. So the bumper is attached to the frame now. The next step here is they've got this L bracket showing in their instructions, and they've got holes accounting for that L bracket. The problem is with me, I think, you know, from having another aftermarket bumper, I'm not too sure if that bracket, and I'll show you, this is the bracket right here, I'm not too sure if this bracket is actually a stock bracket, or I'm missing that bracket, because in the instructions it says using the supplied 3/8 by 1 grade 8 bolt flat washer, mount the supplied L brackets to the holes in the bumper, finger tight only. So it says here's mount the supplied L bracket. So I'm really not too sure if it is a stock bracket and I might have tossed it, or I'm missing my L brackets. But I'm going to skip this step for right now. However, if you do have them and they are stock or they came with your bumper, you would add those in right now, and then you might have to adjust these here to make sure all the holes line up properly. Alright, so after you get your L brackets on the top, you're going to put your L brackets on the bottom here for the skid plate. You're going to have that one existing one that you had there, you started initially at the beginning, where it's got that triangle bracket in the back. You'll add that L bracket to the inside of this frame, this horn frame that comes down. So you'll put the 3/8 by 1, 2 of them here, with the washer and a lock washer, and I'll just loosely put that on there, and then you add your 1/4 bolt here, and I've got a washer on this side and a washer on the back end, and then the nylon nut in the back, and that secures it pretty good. I did it on this side as well too. I'll get some light on there, so you can see how that is kind of fit up. A little guy here. Just be careful when you put your winch in. They do recommend putting paint on it, painter's tape or something to protect it. So I did scratch it up a little bit, but should be okay. Alright guys, so I called Rebel Off-Road. I mentioned about the L brackets within the frame, and it ties into the frame and the skid plate. So I was missing those parts. Rebel does provide those, so they're going to send me the L brackets and the hardware included with it within the next week or two, I assume. So I'll just have to tie that in later, and for right now I'm going to go ahead. I got my fog lights, I got my winch, I got my auxiliary light, my Fairlead in there, so I'm just going to install the low profile bar on there, and then we'll get a quick shot of what this bad boy looks like after it's all put together. Hey guys, what's up? So we've got the bumper installed. Great looking bumper, man. I mean, Rebel Off-Road just hit a home run with this. I did have some issues with retaining rings for the bolts. When actually putting this up here, it was very heavy, especially with the skid plate on there. So trying to figure out that did take me a good 30 minutes to kind of muscle it up there, and then try to put it in the hole slots that it needed to go into the frame. Another thing is, when I'm actually putting in the winch itself, make sure that you pad this or tape this up as much as you can, because it did scratch the bumper. There's a scratch right there. I don't know if you can see that there, but all in all, man, the powder coating is really nice. I mean, it's amazing. Very easy to install. Fog lights, easy to put in. They've got holes here, down here, that you can actually get through bolting. So these are pretty easy, very tight fit for the winch, but this one, I mean, fits perfectly. You know, using my old auxiliary light with this, I don't really like how far it sticks out, but you know, it's pretty good for what it is, and I think it looks pretty cool. Maybe later on I might change out the auxiliary lights for something a little more updated, but these are really good lights. And then the bar, the low profile bar, I ended up getting the low profile one by accident. I kind of wanted the mid height one, but you know, I was on online shopping and I kind of forgot to pick the mid height one. I know I chose a bar, but I forgot it was a low profile bar, not the mid profile. But skid plate is awesome. I love the cutouts here. You know, it matches the top end of the bumper. Very clean, great design. This is a lot more heavier than my Poison Spyder bumper. The coating on the Poison Spyder bumper is feels a lot more durable. Like you can hit it and ding it, and the paint really comes off, or it looks like they're made a gouge or a scratch. This one here, I'm pretty sure once you get on the trails, it's gonna ding up pretty good. But I think you'll still look good on it. Again, I love the interchangeability with these bars. It's awesome. So you don't have to stick with the low profile. You can always go to the mid or the high. Just very nice design. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this small community I have. I don't have that many subscribers. I don't plan to get any more in the future unless you're interested in what I have to do. But if there is more people out there looking for stuff like this, you know, give me a comment, send me a like, subscribe, anything, just to know that you're out there and interested. And plus, you know, I get kind of curious to see what other people are doing too. So there might be something out there that you guys know that's maybe a great install or something that y'all have done. YouTube's just a great place to be to share your experiences and how-tos and stuff like that. So anyways, y'all stay safe out there. Again, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.